World War I, often referred to as the Great War, was a global conflict that involved nations from around the world. South Africa, a British dominion at the time, played a crucial and often overlooked role in this monumental conflict. This article explores South Africa's involvement in World War I, its contributions, challenges, and the lasting impact of the war on the nation. In 1914, South Africa was a relatively young nation, having gained its union status in 1910, uniting 4 self-governing British colonies. The nation was diverse, with a mix of European settlers, indigenous African populations, and a significant Indian community. South Africa's political landscape was characterized by tensions between the British colonial authorities and the Afrikaner population, who were descendants of Dutch settlers. South Africa enters the war. When World War I broke out in 1914, the British Empire immediately called upon its dominions to support the war effort. South Africa, under the leadership of Prime Minister Louis Botha, pledged its support to the Allied cause. However, this decision was not without controversy, as it divided the nation along linguistic and political lines. Key contributions: South African infantry. South Africa provided a significant number of troops to the British Empire. The South African Infantry Brigade, comprising 4 regiments, was deployed to various theaters of the war, including the Western Front and East Africa. East African Campaign. South African forces played a vital role in the East African Campaign, where they engaged German forces in modern-day Tanzania and Kenya. Their tenacity and knowledge of the African terrain were crucial in this theater. South African Native Labour Corps. South Africa also contributed thousands of laborers from various ethnic groups to serve in the South African Native Labour Corps. They were involved in critical logistical and support roles behind the front lines. Challenges and controversies. Political division. South Africa's participation in the war created political divisions. The pro-British government faced opposition from those who sympathized with the Central Powers, particularly the Afrikaner population. Economic impact. The war had a significant economic impact on South Africa. The cost of supporting the war effort strained the nation's resources, and the loss of labor to the war effort affected industries and agriculture. Spanish flu. The return of South African troops from Europe contributed to the spread of the Spanish flu in 1918, resulting in a devastating pandemic that claimed thousands of lives. Legacy and impact. Social changes. The war brought about significant social changes in South Africa. The experience of serving together in the trenches fostered a sense of unity among different racial and linguistic groups. Political consequences. The political divisions during the war influenced the trajectory of South African politics. The post-war period saw the emergence of Afrikaner nationalism and ultimately led to the establishment of apartheid policies in the mid-20th century. Veterans and memorials. South Africa, like many other nations, honored its veterans with memorials and remembrance events. The Delville Wood Memorial in France stands as a poignant symbol of South Africa's sacrifice during the war. South Africa's participation in World War I was a pivotal moment in its history, with lasting political, social, and economic consequences. The nation's contributions to the war effort, particularly in the East African Campaign, demonstrated its commitment to the Allied cause. The war also played a role in shaping South Africa's identity and politics in the turbulent decades that followed, ultimately leaving a profound mark on the nation.